Okay, this is our company profile. So Com2uS is mobile game company focused on smartphone, tablet, and all other platforms related with mobiles. Com2uS has been spearheading the mobile game industry. Its inception in 1998, with its reputation as the #1 mobile games provider in Korea, the most advanced market for the mobile games. We first started as 3 developers who created our company in 1998, and currently we have about 450 employees based in South Korea. And we have 3 subsidiaries based in Japan, China, and United States. Com2uS as a developer and publisher connecting game audience all around the world, persist in producing only the finest quality games on multi-platforms. Currently, we are focusing on the in-house lineups and third-party publishing games. Okay. This page is our brief company growth history graph. As you can see under the graph, there are numbers. The number represents the sales amount of the year. The currency is Korean dollars. Now look at the growth over in 2007. Com2uS has listed in Kosdaq. It's like a Nasdaq. Com2uS is the first mobile game developer and publishing company which started the IPO from South Korea. And as you can see that Com2uS is growing fast, and year by year Com2uS improves both game quality and sales wise. Especially 2008, we established local subsidiaries in the US, and it's located in Mellon Park next to Stanford University. After that, we started released about 20 smartphone games so far on the iPhone, Android, and other platforms. And this year, as a plan, we are releasing 43 games, the most game lineups ever. Out of 47 games, we releasing 20 social games with a freemium business model. Okay, this is our visions. Okay, from now on, I want to talk about our vision and what we are looking for. When you see this page, it looks like a tremendous 3 visions, but we are aimed to be #1 mobile game company in global. To be a global #1 mobile game company, we need several missions to achieve, and we are putting all our hard works and efforts into it. Of course, every company does it, but that's not only things we do. Now I will talk about our strengths, why we could be our aim to be a global #1. We have over 15 years experience in mobile game industry, have expanding into the global smartphone games lineup, and continuously invest in developer. Also, we continuously marketing on our Com2uS brand name while invigorating our Com2uS community sites through the social outlets such like a Facebook fan page and other portals in different locations to deliver our message to the audience. Also, we have our own mobile social platform. It's called Com2uS Hub. It various distribution channels, and we are working on with partners such as Samsung, LG, and other IT companies based in Korea, and marketing companies. Also, our game genre is diversified, including mobile MMORPG and SNG RPG types, and monetizing models with in-app purchase and advertising models to set up. The last part I want to share is that we know how to develop anything that relates into mobile games, and we share information to our partners. Okay, this is our experience. Com2uS game has been successful in many games categories, including arcade, role-playing, sports, and strategy, and recently in social network games. Tiny Palm has been top seller in Korea App Store and Android markets since launch. Everyone knows the premium strategy has become more lucrative than charging for apps. We are expanding our game service with a freemium service and focus more on free apps with in-app, based in network games such as Tiny Palm SNG types and MMORPG. Why we are focusing on premium game? I think you know that, right? Because paid download games are more of a hit or miss model, but free-to-play games are a service and fixed models. And we are betting that the free-to-play games will improve its long-tail monetization, offering gradually increasing returns rather than a waterfall of income that drops off quickly after games release. Now I can explain about our changing on the mobile game business model. We first start the put paid version slice it and paid version with the in-app Homerun Battle 3D. Homerun Battle 3D originally released as a paid with the in-app purchases model on both the iOS and Android market. Homerun Battle 3D is saw a market difference between the two markets. Oh. Our numbers showed a large disparity between the two. The paid with the in-app model worked well on the iTunes App Store. Users are accustomed and willing to spend their money on not only initial paid download, but also the buying in-app. The accumulating iOS downloads of the Homerun Battle 3D since its release in 2009 allow us to see that the average revenue per users was $2.50. According to the data, Android users are not spending as much as iOS users. Many would say these users are not as valuable as an iOS user either. However, free in-app advertising is the most effective ways to monetizing users at this time. This means that this past trend is changing as Android users get more in-app options and as the market grows. That's how we started changes the business model. After paid version with the in-app experience, we saw the big possibilities of the free version with the in-app in Android. So we tested our with baseball games in 9 innings with a free game, and we saw that the Android users were more willing to spend their money on in-app than iOS users. The number indicates that to make revenue on the Android market, free with in-app is the way to go. With paid downloads, they aren't spending more on in-app. This is unlike the iTunes App Store, where users are accustomed to that process and spending the most money overall. That's why we changed our business strategy to premium and we start to build our games with SNG MMORPG types. We released several SNG and MMORPG types. We have a Tiny Palm, Dobby Day, Magic Tree, Aqua Story, Dungeon Fantasy IMO, and with the freemium games. As we released these games, we wanted to have more revenue and wanted to have a strong cross-promotion with these SNG and MMORPG games. So we thought in-game ad will work, so we tested on our first social mobile game, Tiny Palm. It was successful, the revenue increased, and our in-house games cross-promotion have succeeded also. For conclusion, for premium to premium, both market do well with the premium games that offer in-app and in-game advertise. Also, Android users pay remarkable lower out-of-pocket for content. And free games are the key to be successful in that marketplace. At the right side of the images, you can see the top grossing Korean iOS market ranking. Before a few weeks ago, we had all 1 through 5 from top grossing links. This social network games, also known as premium games or free-to-play game market, has grown significantly in last 24 months with a different game design. It requires a user acquisition, user retention, and monetization process and continues to provide game service to users. To set up our SNG service continuously to manage our social game lineups, we have created our social game team to provide our users. Jumping right into the case study, I will introduce one of our famous social games called the Tiny Palm. I think the audience will be curious about this part or know what Tiny Palm is. We designed this game and we studied and learned a lot from this game. We learned what was successful and what was difficult to managing or failed. I'll briefly introduce what is Tiny Palm is about. Tiny Palm is one of our first social games developed by Com2uS that lets you manage your very own farm. It was first launched in September 2001 in the App Store. The main point of the game is collecting animals and breeding animals. In order to breeding animals, you first need to make them happy by showing them love. To do this, players must tap the animal, then tap on the Give Love button until its happiness is full. You need to do this with two animals and then drag them near to each other. From this Tiny Palm screenshot, you can see that it's basically of raising animals and farming young. If you have experienced the Com2uS game, it matches the color Com2uS style cute and casual types of the game. Okay. Look at the right side of the page. You will see the brief information about the Tiny Palm achievement in Korea. It was very successful, and the sales are continuously growing, as you can see from the numbers. Android platform is getting bigger, and nowadays, Android revenue is biting iOS revenues. It's different to compare with the global market and Asian market, but we see a bigger potential in Android this year for a couple of the reasons. There are more devices worldwide, and the market is more sweet for free-to-play. Although there are many issues such as market fragmentation, device fragmentation, and billing, it could be an opportunity for larger developers who have the resources, experience, and scalability. Especially in Korea, there are 3 domestic open markets, and one of the largest distribution market is T-Store. And when you think about the revenue, T-Store is the second biggest market in all Android platforms. T-Store has a huge market, but I am sorry I cannot tell you more detailed information about the Korean domestic market. Okay. By May, Tiny Palm DAU has increased 840,000 and 26% of users are from Korea and 52% are from US, Japan, and China. As you can see this page, in 1 minute 2 million DB queries are happening from the network. Every month we are marketing more 50 times, and we find out that in Tiny Palm, 60% of our audience were single female players, 20s and 30s. I think female user really likes the taste of the cute graphics and social. The interesting part is the female users. If they really like that content, they go deeper down. So they really use the contents deeply, and of course are willing to pay for the contents than the male audience. From the Tiny Palm case study, we learned a lot from our mobile social platform, Com2uS Hub. This platform is the most advanced mobile social platform yet, which allows the gamers to interact with friends, and a cross-promotion network can only go so far, especially when trying to make games that appeal worldwide or promoting other games. Currently, Com2uS Hub DAU has more than 2 million users and 7 million MAU, and the registered users are over 20 millions. As a publisher, I will say Com2uS Hub is one of the most powerful tools for the social competitive. And when you think about the publishing through the Com2uS Hub, it allows Com2uS is connect to million users with one another and provides the company a large cross-promotion network and an in-house promotion. Actually, according to Plurry data, our DAU of our all games is over 3.8 million, and MAU is 18. millions. Okay. So, but I cannot tell you the detailed numbers of our exact monetizing data. Please understand, but we provide the graphs. Regarding to distribution, Google Play took 2 months to reach first 1 million downloads, and Apple App Store per month. And Korean Android market took 6 months. Regarding to monetizing, Apple App Store has the highest ARPPU. When you think of the 100% rate in distributions, Apple is 40, Google 32%, and Korea domestic market was 20 in ARPPU rate. But in buying user view, especially in Korea, has the highest paying users. When you think of a 100% rate as same in the distribution, Korea domestic markets was 15, and Apple 3%, Google was 0.5% in view rate. In our experience, Google Play is the most effective distribution channel. Apple App Store has the highest paying users, and Korea Android market has the highest purchase rate. This deviation of population density and particular users have different characters. Okay. Here is something we work on with the developers to change and made a big positive impact in publishing. The game is called Aqua Story, and it's Korean developer company named Sunday Thoughts. It released in March, and we opened only in Korea now. As I mentioned earlier from the premium strategies, we had a user hub and news banner to promote with in-house cross-promotion, and it is very successful. And currently, from the T-Store download number increased to 300,000. I also cannot show in detail, but Aqua Story is different with existing social network games with font root competition among their users to users. It supports specific things for real-time multiplayer. You guys could check it out in Android market, and Google Play iOS will be released in this week. I would like to tell you about our publishing strategy. A lot of the developers have been talking about why do we need a publisher. That's exactly what we've been thinking while too, and the question what we've been asking was that one of the things that we acknowledged first was the amount of application being serviced in the App Store. The number of the apps being tremendously increased from 2009 through now, and the App Store is packed. Too many applications coming to App Store, so I think I can support marketing for so much. Honestly, I think for the developer side, it's a really good time overall because there are large amount of interest into the industry, and the potential is numerously huge to a lot of types of the activities, such as quality development cost increase due to steeper competition and cross-promotion and raising of money, or investing angel funds and publishing through the publishers. For publisher side, also it's a really good time for us to publish a lot of the games, and I get so many emails from other developers these days. And what I want to say is that I don't need a lot of the developers. I just want the partners who is very passionate about the games, and we want to keep the relationship strong in long time. So for example, when we publish one game from the developer, then we can publish another game from the same developer. So, okay, so I desire to have premium games to publish in overall, and we are looking forward to publish. Lastly, I want to introduce our Smile logo. On the bottom right side, it says the creating fun games for all platform Com2uS. That's our company's slogan. So, but I'm publishing manager, so as our publishing department slogan is that we call the we make you smile. So for this time, I will pass the QA time because most of the information will be confidential at this moment. Okay, I think from tonight, if you have any question, please contact me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.